अपना तेलंगाना गवर्नमेंट के इंस्ट्रक्शंस गांजा गुटखा ऐसी कॉन्ट्राबैंड मटेरियल कोई भी है तो सीज करना।
गांजा की ये जो इश्यू है इसके खिलाफ पूरे स्टेट में ड्राइव चल रहा है।
That was the Hyderabad police in October, randomly stopping people on the road to check their mobile phones. The Hyderabad police were looking for words like ganja or weed in people's WhatsApp chats. This was a part of a police crackdown on drug peddling. But the Hyderabad police's actions are illegal and are violative of a citizen's right to privacy. So, what can you do if the police stop you and check your phone? What are your rights? We tell you more. But first, stories like these require time, effort, and resources. And in order to continue bringing these stories to you, the News Minute needs your support. So, click in the link in the description below to become a part of the News Minute community. And to stay updated on all our videos, do subscribe to the News Minute channel. Now, coming back to the issue. Why were these searches so problematic? To begin with, the Hyderabad police were functioning without a search warrant.
All these searches are also going on or were going on in absence of an investigation. So it's not like there was an FIR against a person and they were conducting a search because of that. That's not the case at all. They were generally conducting the search against anyone who was crossing this road, which also raises more privacy concerns because there's no larger justification of limiting your right to privacy.
So, the police have some power to conduct searches like the ones you see here. But they need a very strong reason to do so, and they must have legal justification.
What the Hyderabad police did definitely does not sit well with the existing law. Under the current legal procedures, there are broadly 3 ways by which they can conduct a search.
First, the police can send a notice under section 91 of the CRPC, which allows the police to issue summons to produce documents, etc.
This is a voluntary notice where a person who should not be accused gets to respond to whatever information they want. Clearly, in Hyderabad, this notice has not been sent.
The second scenario is when the police get a search warrant issued from a judge. Only then can the police conduct such searches and seizures. Then comes section 165 of the CRPC, which gives the police power to conduct searches. But even this power is not absolute.
The broad power which the police has is under section 165 of the CRPC, where they do have the power to conduct a search, but they can only conduct such a search after certain prerequisites are met. One of which is that they need to write in their case diary that they're going to conduct this search. That's one. And 2 is that they can only conduct such a search when it's absolutely necessary, when undue delay will hamper the investigation. Again, neither of these situations were met in the case of Hyderabad because from my understanding, they were literally stopping people on the road and asking them to provide their phones to the police. So definitely, short answer is that the Hyderabad police should not have done what they did.
So, what the police did in Hyderabad is in fact unlawful and it amounts to abuse of power.
A lot of power is conferred upon the police to investigate issues. However, there are limitations upon those powers, and those limitations are placed to prevent abuse of power. So a general search is not something which is contemplated in the law, where the police is stopping people on the road.
Now, the Hyderabad Police Commissioner has said that the people need not show their phones and they are free to say no. But it's not that easy. People may even face action for not complying with the police.
The problem is when individuals say no, they may still be subject to arrest, and hence it's very difficult to say no in those circumstances. Legally speaking, you cannot say no to a direction given by a public servant. That's also a punishable offence under the Indian Penal Code, which is also a concern.
So, what can you do to ensure your privacy is not violated?
So, in these circumstances, citizens can definitely ask for a warrant. In absence of a warrant, the citizens can say that I'm not going to provide my password so that you cannot open my phone. The problem is, of course, what we discussed earlier, that they may be subject to arrest in those situations. But if that's not happening, then then you can definitely say that you cannot open my phone.
If this issue goes to court, you can say that you didn't give your password because you have a right against self-incrimination. I'll repeat again, you do not have to give your phone's password. Now, if the police seizes your phone, even if you haven't given them your passcode, you can ask for a seizure memo. A seizure memo is an official document where the police details whatever they have seized from you. You can also approach a court of law saying that the police have taken your phone illegally and that it is a violation of your right to privacy.
I think right to privacy is an interesting argument in this situation because it's something which has not been placed before the courts as such, or if it has been placed, it is sub judice. CRPC itself is a law which was made before phones came into being. It's a law from 1973 and is also in fact modeled on the law from the 19th century. But since the Supreme Court in Puttaswamy has said that you have a right to privacy, a lot of provisions under the Code of Criminal Procedure will be tested against what the Supreme Court has held.
Incidentally, the Internet Freedom Foundation has helped activist Srinivas Kodali in drafting a legal notice to the Hyderabad Police Commissioner, who is yet to respond.
And we pointed out in the notice that such general search is something which is not permissible under existing law. We also highlighted that conducting such searches has a chilling effect upon people. If these searches are conducted, then people will be more fearful of the police, which they should not be.
Now, some others may argue that if you have nothing to hide, you need not be worried, and only criminals need to be concerned. But you, as a citizen, have every right to decide what you share and with whom.
Privacy is basically my ability to control the information about me and ensure that it does not spread in a manner which I am not comfortable with. Now, in case of mobile phones which were being checked, definitely there could be situations where I have nothing to hide. The problem is that I lose control over that information, even if there is something which is entirely benign, that may be assumed to be something which is problematic. So a lot of people who are saying that this is something which is okay are the ones who have not been through that situations where you have to give up your phone to a third party and see them going through your personal lives entirely. And that's what phones have become these days. They're an extension of your personality. And this is definitely a concern.
And this is all the more concerning because we've seen in high-profile cases like the recent Aryan Khan case, where WhatsApp chats are selectively released into the world. This is not only a privacy concern, but it also denies the person the chance to a fair trial. The right to privacy in India is highly underrated and it must change. This is Sanyukta Dharmadhikari for the News Minute.